I saw you at the mall, staring at a young nigga watching how I ball. You had a vision, it was you running with me in the Range Rover, rolling up weed, taking you places that you never dreamed, licking on your pussy like a whipped cream. Like how you never had me, but you missed me. Told you I'm a dog, baby, where the frisbee. But your nigga, he like Disney, just send him to where the kids be. Get your ass over here and kiss me. I know you don't need me, but it's better to have me like a kiwi. Yeah, you need to fuck with me. Yeah, you need to fuck with me. Just know
Peace, family. First, I had to do this video at nighttime. It would only be right in honor of Goddess Nyx, who is the personification of the night. If I was to do the video in the morning, it just wouldn't have hit. It wasn't going to hit the same way. So, let me preface this whole entire movement and video moving forward. Before I even introduce myself, a lot of y'all might not even know who I am, but I just gotta let y'all know that we was kings and queens that ruled the earth for thousands of years. We was kings. So with that being said, I'm going to bring that into the forefront as we discuss some of these things. Etymology, that's what we're referencing today. So this conversation, this build is based upon etymology, where it is the science that words have definitions, like they mean things, but words also have numerical values, where we understand words based upon their numerical values. So, because hey, I'm out here saving the world, yo. Yeah, with these damn dishes. Give a shit. So beyond that, we kings and queens that ruled the world. So the etymology of the Chris Brown equates to 53, and that's English ordinal. Full reduction is 26. You add that because we're not looking at 53, nor is we looking at 26. What are we looking at, family? We're looking at 8. And then we're looking at 8-2 or 2-8. That equals 1-0 or 1. So Chris Brown had his first hit single when he turned 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10 equals 1. So it is the number one thing that is happening, right? 19 throw you off. So Chris Brown, Deborah, and Atlas all aligned to 53 or 8. So when we say Chris Brown, we're saying Deborah, we're saying Atlas, because the definition, I can make up what Deborah means. I can make up what Chris Brown means. See, on the chat, people who new to this channel, they like Chris Brown. What the hell are you talking about? But if I say it long enough, you'll automatically know what I'm talking about, and I don't have to explain the shit or even say the shit. So when people actually, and so would you be scared of Chris Brown? Depends, right? Depends if you Rihanna or not. And side note, Rihanna put out a jam with Party Next Door called Believe It. That joint had, like, that's the first time in a minute I was just like, repeat, repeat, repeat. I ain't did that since I was like 12. That is a jam. So Chris Brown, Deborah, Atlas, and first thing that we're gonna talk about is Deborah. So we're just pulling from the ethers, family. We're just kind of having a mystic musing type of conversation. I got like 3 pages of notes. I'm actually gonna go through based upon like doing the gematria of the whole thing, which is ironic, right? Because like everybody's talking about all of this shit surrounding this shit, but like, why wouldn't you deal with that? He got the heat. See, that's why I love the family, man. It's a wavelength. We don't. It's like, see, if you can understand certain codes and keys, we can outsmart the shit. It's not about loving your enemy. It's about outsmarting your enemy because it's your damn enemy. What type of shit is that? Who hugs on the battlefield? Who gets checks in the battlefield? Like, we shooting and niggas is talking about checks. So we are interested in the development and evolution to what is right and exact and the actual truth of the matter. And so within this conversation, hopefully we can bring light to this energy, because when we reference the Chris Brown, we are referencing Atlas, so we're referencing something very direct in mythology, and mythology resonates to this actual day. So Deborah, the metaphysical meaning of Deborah is a prophetess, and it is an allusion to a bee. So ever since I've been talking about sentience. So Deborah is an allusion to that sentience by being a queen bee. The queen bee sits in the center of the hive and makes no real moves. She be posted up, but she has millions of bees operating for her. So all of these references, whether we're referencing a shepherd and sheep or queens and bees, we're referencing clear sentience. Okay, if you on it on a personal level, you're trying to get your life together, then that don't make sense because it's people that's controlling you. So why would you try to personally better yourself in a situation that is somebody is controlling you metaphysically, magically? Um, so this is a time to really deal with the perception beyond your five senses, and this is the actual factual of the situation. A lot of people is going to say a whole bunch of shit, and they can't even narrate or understand this information because like the shit is words, it is glamour, the shit is grammar. So as y'all know, I deal with this shit daily, bringing this shit to the forefront in order for people to see, you know, pierce through the fog. Shout out to Yafa Bay, and being able to see the actual factual to what's happening. So Deborah is your perception beyond your five senses. This is your intuitive judgment, and this is not the will. The will can be hijacked by artificial intelligence, fake spiritual motherfuckers offering you this, offering you that, because your will states that I'm going to manifest some shit. Okay, all right, join this, buy this, support this, do that. And that shit ain't gonna help you do a damn thing. The only thing that's gonna help you is to understand subjective perception and the energy surrounding your subjective perception, the moment, right? Your moment cannot be hijacked. However, when you think that you're going to manipulate your moment, oh, it's hijack city, it's artificial intelligence and things of that nature, right? So the idea is to then now understand that is you a queen bee? Is you a queen bee? Is you a consort of the queen? Yo, I'm making my alliances to the queens, to the feminine energy because I'm smart. Okay. And because this royalty shit, this shit is not really new to me. Or having relationships and loving people and things of that nature is part of the bloodline. And so don't let people subdue you or subject you to limited thoughts and beliefs of who you are. We was kangs, motherfucker. We was kangs, goddammit. We was kangs. We was queens. We ruled the land and the sea. So this actual energy, although it is sleep, is now waking up. So the mere fact that it's waking up, you have not tapped into your sentience, and therefore the world is in disarray. because the kings and the queens is in the goddamn house. Literally. The kings and the queens is in the house. Literally. So it is time to manipulate and take over this energy. Your subjective, perceptive energy, not the will. Is very key because if you are tapped into the will, you're going to be hijacked by fake spiritual motherfuckers using glamour and looking good and smelling good and talking good and acting like they can help you, but can't nobody help you, my nigga. It's the subjective, perceptive reality. It is the moment that can't nobody hijack. And all of this, metaphysical, existential mumbo jumbo ain't gonna get you nowhere. Niggas act like they can talk for hours and help you. If that shit ain't concise in a 2 hour point A, point B academic, take something, apply it in the subjective, perceptive realm, the momentary realm, fuck that shit. Okay? Fuck that shit. Oh, I'm gonna help you do this. Oh, I'm gonna get you to do that. What are we even talking about? What world are we even talking about where this shit even exists? You don't necessarily know that. So people probably sleep, so let me calm down. So here we go. So COVID, if you do the translation to COVID, get Kobe. And if you do COVID-19, you do the translation for the gematria, you get Nyx. A lot of people don't know what Nyx is, but a lot of people feel Nyx. What is Nyx? Nyx is if you live in the northeastern part of America, or even in the northern hemisphere, in between what we would call New England or the colonial United States of America. This don't really apply to parts south, east, west, things like that, you know. But in those particular areas, those particular contracts and things of that nature where this darkness or this night kind of was, to say, bought out. And because she was bought out, people imagined that the sun was the only light that existed. However, in these particular regions and areas, we have the sun is a rarity for us. The sun is like the sun is one of those things. Like, so when all of this situation is happening, what else is happening that nobody is talking about is the actual darkness. I'm using, you can use gematrix or gematrinator. Yeah, or you can actually know the values of letters and count them out. It's not like rocket science or nothing like that. It'll all get you to the same places. So once you collect all of this data, you then have to make sense of it. Because if you don't make sense of it, then it just kind of don't make sense. So the fact that we're making sense with it, let's try to make sense with it in the realm of the truth is stranger than fiction. So we have Aquaman, right? Using that as a base. But then before we get to Aquaman, let's deal with Atlas. Atlas is taken from Aegis, which is goat skin, which is just another realm of the Baphomet or the god Pan or the pineal gland or the pineal gland, the Neptune energy, the Shiva energy, which is supposedly submerged in water, where the body is 70% water, and the world which we breathe oxygen or have a resonance of water, which contains the resonance of oxygen in it. So breathing in oxygen, drinking oxygen, one could say that we are submerged in water. We just don't realize it the same way fish don't understand that they're in particular water. They just kind of think it's normal to be how it is. So, all of that being said, Atlas is personified as Atlantis. This is very key when you read the mythology of Atlas and it is said that he holds the world up. So if Atlas holds the world up every single day, but he's personified as Atlantis, what is actually being said? Before we actually understand what is being said, we need to understand who Atlas represents. Atlas is the king of Atlantis, which is interesting. I had a CD that I called The King of Atlantis in 2019, not even realizing that Atlas is that actual energy. The reason why we call it the Atlantic Ocean is based upon Atlas and is also referred to Atlantis. And the interesting thing is that I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, which is the border of the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm not saying that I'm Atlas. I'm saying that that energy, maybe a fragment of it, is something that I resonate. And then just understanding the 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue was based upon magical contracts and things of that nature, based upon the John Dee relationship with Queen Elizabeth. Now, I'm not going to break all into that, and do your research maybe in another video, but also look up Jason Louv. I got his book, dope book, of just trying to understand this quote unquote British Empire and things of that nature. So once you have Aquaman, you have Atlas, you have the King of Atlantis, and if you watch the movie, he has to unite the 7 tribes underneath the sea, which represents, of course, the 7 chakras. Nobody's slow. But even more so, this whole metaphor for all of this Atlantis rising might just very be your inner conscious niggas doing the work. It just might be that. And I'm just bringing that to account to where you might have a lack of control or feel as though things ain't working out in your favor. How about you do the work within, unite the 7 chakras, and then elevate to that next energy? Because when you reference the trident, when you reference this particular device, you are referencing the actual energy of Neptune, which is the communication with these particular energies. So when we reference Deborah, when we reference Atlas, we're reference the same resonance as the Chris Brown. But when they talk about a disease, when they talk about a virus, that's dependent on the perspective. Perspective. Okay. And a lot of what I'm saying is referencing a lot of mythology. Hopefully you find yourself within this mythology the same way that I'm doing, in the same way that we're bringing this conversation to light. So one could either say like, oh, the Moorish Empire and things of that nature has nothing to do with nothing that we're doing, or the case may be. And I would just be like, okay, you have every right to think that, but wherever you getting that information from is from the same people that's smacking you over the head. But then you expect to find some truth in what they're telling you about the history. So what people don't understand about history is that it's more magical and more spiritual than it is matter of fact and logical. So to solve these problems is not about going to court. It's not about going along with their processes. It's about finding your magic. And the only way you really deal with your magic is to deal with your inner being. So any stay at home order, or you don't have to go to work, is really a time to deal with your personal energy. You would be really confused if you think you're not going to have to pay your rent and things like that, because you're going to have to pay your rent. Like they going, like they giving you loans. They not giving you money and things of that nature. So all of this shit is going to have a real negative effect, because the positivity is the negativity. and the negativity is the positivity, because this energy has flipped. So when we understand the energy of Atlas, every day he had to wake up and go to work. But at the same time, Atlas was the king of Atlantis. Was kings. Was we was rulers of the oceans. We was rulers of the land. And when you don't understand the mysteries of the Moors, because the Moors don't understand the history of the Moors think it's some realm of sovereignty within the fake ass court system, or even beyond that, some organization, or even coming together in the realms of anything. Instead of dealing with the reality of the sunken city of Atlantis, and even if that's a hidden secret, fuck all that secret shit. I don't want to fuck with you and then you tell me the shit. I deal with it. If I feel the vibration, I'm gonna be as honest with you without knowing you. And maybe I'm wrong for that, but I guess I'm moving on. But I'm gonna definitely come back to this Aquaman energy when we reference the goddess Nyx, because if you do just the regular COVID, you get 8, but if you do COVID-19, you get 9. And I only reference Nyx because I got Atlas at first. And then I got from Atlas, I got to Nyx. And then I did the additional study and seen what Nyx was. Turned out that Nyx was 63, which is dope because it makes me understand why it's so fucking cloudy. And where niggas would get to, oh, it's chemtrails and it's silver and it's this and it's that, and you need to be afraid of it. That may be true. However, I know that the Mother Night, so darkness and light can exist in the same space. And that exists on the microcosm, but it also exists on the macrocosm, in a space where we have the ability to kind of turn our energy, the overall day Helios energy, which was the macro, where the months, right? Where the months and the months were ran by the days. Now we're understanding this energies by the night. And because the days and the nights can exist, even when you reference how to like tell time and things like that, those things have changed over time through cultures. So when we reference the goddess Nyx, we're reference a black and silent, dark energy that is going to exist even in the daytime. And this energy is actually fighting with the sun. Nyx is the void of chaos, known as Mother Night, the great black winged spirit, or the phoenix rising, for which the revelation seals was made for. Seals, right? United States seal of America has an eagle. That seal is covering the phoenix, for which is rising at this particular moment. And it's celestial and it's electromagnetic. And our eyes aren't tuned to see what's actually happening. But some of us can feel it, but a lot of people want everything to be perfect and beautiful and, fairy tale like. And I shade to that, so it is. But I'm really into this black, dark energy, this phoenix rising energy, this wind, right? I took a walk in the dark and just felt the wind just blowing. Ain't blow my hat off or nothing. It was blowing, but I felt it because I knew it was the god of chaos, the goddess of chaos, Nyx. This energy represents eggs, See, the earth is an egg. And Atlas was holding up this egg, the sky. But this is the actual thing within mythology where Atlas and Nyx come together. Not only in mythology, but it's tied in to the real life. How does it tie into the real life? Through the actual Chris Brown disease that's going around. The energy. One of her sons is Thanatos. Thanatos is a way of death that is not like war, like fighting, non-violent death. That's what Thanatos. But it was a urge that a person had. So there's no need to be sympathizing because it's something that a person actually wants. It's a freedom that a person wants. Is Atlas holding up the earth? And this is representative of the 200 or so CEOs stepping down from their jobs. A 40% raise of CEOs stepping down. They've never seen like this before. Because the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. But the idea is now shifting into a power center, and the responsibility and the heavy is the head that wears the crown, and then maybe this ain't what you want type of energy. Cause you want to be a worker bee. See, a worker bee be really thinking that he can live his best life, but he is under mind control of the queen bee. And the queen bee is the goddess Nyx. Period. And of course, the goddess Nyx is a play on words from the goddess Nut or Nuit. But to tie it into the truth is stranger than fiction, we have the Black Manta, which was in Aquaman. He is the Aquaman's arch nemesis, even though they didn't show it in the movie. In the comics books, Black Manta is that dude. But Black Manta is played by Dr. Manhattan. I can't think of his name. I think his name is Yahya Abdul Mateen or something to that effect. And he was married to Sister Night, which is a play on words for Mother Night. And Mother Night was a nun, right? But then you tie it in and fast forward to this energy, you know that the goddess is rising because the Pope is walking through the Vatican, he ain't got no worshipers. The Imam going to the Mecca, he don't got no worshipers. The Reverend Deacon, who depends on the souls of our people so they can harness and use as a battery for this machine we call I don't commercialism mixed in with spirituality. You understand how things have got to change. So essentially, Sister Night, which is the hero of Watchmen, which is actually eating the egg. What did I say Mother Night represents? She represents the egg. She represents the earth. She represents the sky. She represents the earth. She created all of it. Of course she gets the egg at the end. Of course she walks on water at the end. But in doing that, the system for which suppresses her cannot survive. And is she going to do it fighting? Of course not. She not going to fight. She going to do it subversively. So another thing that people haven't been talking about that I've noticed, everybody talking about Chris Brown, but ain't nobody talking about the actual star system. And shout out to the people on Slack who kind of showed me this thing, and I did some digging, and what I came out with it crazy. But let's first start with Sirius, because Sirius is the leader of the entire heaven. So we use an analogy that Sirius is Atlas. Atlas is the king of Osiris, or the king of Atlantis, which could be another word for Osiris. And the reason that they say Sirius is the leader of the entire heaven, because there is not a star in the sky that is brighter than Sirius. Even more so, it's 10 to 12 times brighter than any other star. It's literally the LeBron James of stars. It's so powerful that when our sun conjuncts Sirius around July 25th, this is what is called the dog days of summer. This is when it gets super hot. Because within the Bible, they always say that their God is a consuming fire, which represents the energy of Sirius down to a T. In all initiations, in all spiritual practices, all Freemasonic lodges are in the realms of initiating to the realms of Sirius. However, we are representative of the goddess Nyx, or the goddess Nuit, which means that we've created all stars and all gods. And all of this energy was predicted in Ayn Rand's book, Atlas Shrugged. In Atlas Shrugged, they asked the question, who is John Gate? And that question represented, don't ask questions that nobody can answer. Learn to live in your subjective, perceptual reality. Live in the moment. You want to ask questions that nobody can answer just to, so what does this have to do with that? And asking me questions that you fucking been thinking about. This is about living in the moment. So let's tie it all in. The Sirius and Atlantis connection found in daily struggle. Every day, Atlas to raise the earth and raise the skies in the heaven. Every single day as a job. But he shouldn't have a job because he's the king of Atlantis. So what he separates the heavens from the earth in another way that we can understand the energy of Atlas through the Atlas Mountains. And these Atlas Mountains are said to be turned by Perseus, who had the head of Medusa, and came and seen the giant and turned him into that mountain range. And this mountain range is very important to the Moors, because as we're talking about Morocco, we're talking about Mauritania, we're talking about the Spanish Empire, and we're talking about Christopher Columbus and this energy that they actually tapped into to actually find Atlantis, aka America, aka Ohio. Want to be correct about it, but all of these particular places have particular fragments of this energy. So we have the Titan, we have a shepherd, and we also have a rock. And all of this energy ties into Perseus, which, if in the Clash of the Titans, you know that he is known for cutting off the head of Medusa. That's another segue into the Baphomet energy, for which comes up for some reason. You know, these ancients have a real serious issue with like using people's heads for wisdom or using people's heads for magic and things of that nature. But then when you look at this heraldry or coats of arms with the black faces and the black people and just their heads. This is the real thing of what they're using as their actual stamp of approval. Like, I killed him, I killed him, I killed them, and things of that nature, and using their heads as their whole foundation for their civilization, because it's all magic. And when you think it's not magic, real confused. So the Kobe connection to this, because if you do the science of translating it, the reason why the translation works, because the translation came out in February. Mr. Bryant transitioned in January. So the word is completely made up. So the realizations and the computer engineers who engineered it to represent that is a form of magic. That's a form of grammar. That's a form of grimoire. And when you tie it into mythology, it's very easy to understand this. So in my Truth is Stranger Than Fiction series, I've already explained that Kobe held the Dionysus energy. Dionysus is the god of wine. Kobe Bryant has a video where he's calling himself Vino. Vino is Latin for wine. So, in the story of the Corona, the mythology, the god Dionysus, aka Kobe Bryant, found the priest in weeping, fell in love, and the two were soon married. The crown made by Hephaestus, which is another aspect, because Hephaestus is another word for Vulcan. Vulcan's holy day is August 23rd. When was Kobe Bryant born? August 23rd. She tossed it into the sky, where the jewels were turned into stars, and the crown became the constellation Corona, the brightest star in the constellation Gemma, and got its name for the Latin word for jewel. But a jewel, I didn't translate it like a diamond ring. Translated it like jewel energy, like Joule, jewel. And so this is the energy for which is now being activated. So if you are able to tap into the 823 God energy and understand that this is a crowning, because the corona is a crown. We was king, we was queen. And the reality that we forgot it. So when I'm talking to people, the idea that I'm working with is remembering. The idea that I'm trying to bring people into is remembering, and give you some life hacks to deal with this energy. Now, they say you got to quarantine and you need to be in the house, but need to get into the goddess Nyx and the goddess Nut and the goddess of love, which is Eros, which is a god, not a goddess, but the goddess is the energy is chaos and darkness plus Eros, which equates to black love or dark love or chaos love, primal love. Because what is this shit doing for the most of us is keeping that primal love aspect, because that shit will break down the frequency for tying in that primal dark love energy, because that's what the world was created for before you had standards and, oh, I'm doing this and looking for a guy like that, and you know, and all of this society stuff. There was darkness and there was passion, and then there was inevitability. So Nick stands with the energy of Anunnaki, which is inevitability. And these are all brothers and siblings. So you have time, you have love, and you have inevitability. what I'm saying is, with this disease and virus shit, y'all niggas is missing the fucking point. But what needs to take place? It's cosmic more than it is rational or societal. And the thing of it is that if you plugged into any types of matrices right now, that's just your bad. You're not remembering who you are at a soul level. I know I come on here and say this shit every day, but I just be kind of showing you that I'm not the only one saying it. It's more tied into the grammar and Hebrew mind games that they like to play with these words and shit. Cause say for instance they called this shit Essentia, H2O water. You don't have these kind of conversations. So tying into this, by following our intuitive leadings and really dealing with our spirit and soul and dealing with the unseen and putting that crown back on our head and becoming sentient beings and taking control of the sheep, because the sheep do need control. This is how we make it. And of course, I'm not talking to the masses. Talking to the select few that's viewing these videos and things of that nature. Small because it needs to be small, because we dealing with kings and queens. And the realms with kings and queens is the realms of control. So go beyond yourself and really see your power and really see your magnitude. The energy is called Wu Wei. Wu Wei, WUWEI. And it's Taoism. It's non-action. It's not doing shit. And this is how you take control of everything is by not doing shit. And it's magical. It's Taoist. It ain't rational. It's not logical. But what in this world is happening right now that's rational and logical right now? So drastic times call for drastic measures. So the problem, so within, needs to be reaffirmed based upon your actions. And what I would hope that you would do with this information, because more than do the mystical musings, I really like to leave these videos with like clear, distinct ways to actually deal with this energy without a fucking shadow of a doubt. And if you be wanting to deal with deep niggas and have them do deep, long soliloquies and shit to, finesse your earbuds and finesse your wallet, be my guest. But I want you to know, without a shadow of a doubt, there is nothing that is stopping you from your perceptual, subjective experience. There is nothing that is stopping you from love, from eros. It's a made up disease, however, but let's deal with the fact that it's made up. All of these words, all of these vibrations is tied into a lexicon, and half of it is man-made, the other half is spiritual. Energy has reincarnated into a particular virus. But say for instance, I'm a hacker. Then how do I view the virus? I view the virus as a way for me to come up. So it's a very beautiful thing. It's an inevitable and necessitable thing. What do they say? A necessitable evil. But beyond that, be sure to be in control of your perceptual subjective energy. And also, as the energy goes around 12 o'clock midnight, do some work with the darkness. Direct your energy, direct your tribe, direct your hive. You understand what I'm saying? Certain people that's only going to vibrate to you because you they king. Only certain people that's going to vibrate to you because you they queen. But you need to understand this energy within yourself. The birthright, the legacy, the lineage. that was, they did the 400-year deal. But last time I checked, that 400 years was over in 2019, and it's time to pay up. So make sure you mute your phones because we about to tap in. But hold on, before we get into that, ColumbianExchange.com. Did I mention? www.columbianexchange.com. Get your drip, your cash drip, your subconscious community drip. You got 2 days to get the buy one, get a half off sale on the subconscious community tees and hoodies. And then I think for April, I'm going to flip into some springtime vibrations. I don't know what that's going to look like. We're going to come up with something fly, something fresh for the Columbian Exchange family. So peace to all of y'all for supporting me. I did a customer inventory, doing some marketing things, and I'm like, damn, few people done mess with your boy, a couple of celebs and things of that nature. I'm looking like, it's just a real powerful thing, having a platform and, people that vibrate and resonate with you. And I'm just saying all of that to say, don't be the last one to get your drip. God damn, everybody getting moisturized out here and you all ashy because you ain't got the cash drip for the summertime, you feel me? So be sure to visit ColumbianExchange.com. Also www.hoodmystic.com for readings. I've been on fire with the readings. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna force you to get a reading either because, they be stressful because my spirit opens all the way up. Everything that I begin to experience or examine be somehow in some way related to that reading. So sometimes I be doing the daily energy readings. Shit don't even be about y'all. It be about the person that I'm doing the reading for. So sometimes it be that deep. So www.hoodmystic.com, schedule a reading if you dare. But if you scared, take your ass to church. It's hood in the evening, but dude. And I don't know, it's late. I don't know if y'all gonna call in or whatever, but I had to at least see. I like to come on here and do it at least once. Let me throw in this link one time for the family. But yeah, man, that was just a little goddess download. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the family for showing the love on the donation side too. We on that 3-6 Mafia late night creep. You feel me? It just depends, man. It ain't no real rhyme or reason to it, but what I would say is that I've been kind of infusing both of the shits because I'm gonna have to really do it over my whole reading shit because I'm like shit. Sometimes I be using a tarot. The reason I be using a tarot, I would say get a tarot reading or something like that because I'm gonna ask you for your birth information. But I ain't going to like do no deep dive of your birth chart. But if you want like a deep dive of your birth chart, then get a astro reading. But if you want to kind of just like have a build where I'm just kind of looking and freestyling and things like that, I don't know if you like a freestyler or you want me to be concise and write you up some shit, then get a full natal chart reading. Now it'll be documented. But if you want it more like, I just want to do some spiritual, just read me real quick, then get a tarot. But I'm going to still use your astrology chart. I'm going to just not go real deep into it. Yeah, it's midnight, man. It's time to really tap into something deeper and something darker. I put the links in there to tap in and also the phone number. Let me tap in one time with the God Kevin Bourne. Dun 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 dun
Just
dun
breathe
dun.
me real quick and get into row. I'm gonna still use your
Hey, what up? Peace.
Chilling out, man. Chilling. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh, nothing much. I gotta catch the replay of this, but the
Mm-hmm.
cover picture caught my eye because I did have a dream last week
Mm-hmm.
where I saw like shadows all around, and I was interacting with them,
Mm-hmm.
and the female shadow looked like just like the one that picture. I guess that's Nyx, right? I caught
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
dream late, so I gotta rewatch this. But
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
she was basically, yeah, she was basically giving me instructions, and she's like, "Oh, it's time." So I went. There was like I was in an apartment, so I went to all the different rooms, and I was gathering all these shadows, and there was somebody else there, but I feel like we were in the dark because he couldn't see anything, but I could see clearly in the dark. He was looking for something, and I showed him where it was. I was like, "It's right in front of you. You can't see it." And I picked it up from him and gave it to him. I was like, "No, I can't see anything. I need my flashlight." And then after that, we went through a doorway, and then I woke up. I was like, "Oh shit!" So that was an interesting dream. But
That do sound. Go ahead. I
just
want you to
that picture
finish your
reminded me
thought.
of her. Oh no,
That's
no, but just that picture reminded me of her. So that brought up. I was like, I gotta call in now. I was like,
yeah. That's crazy. You know what's so crazy about that is like I'm trying to get to a place where trying to make this energy real. And it's like when you come through with the dream, you might just be thinking like, da 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 da. I'm just kind of freestyling like or whatever. And me, I'm looking at it like, yo, that's the confirmation that I'm really looking for because you don't know nothing of what I'm fucking talking about. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, but yet and still it's still some form of alignment, and it's like really a time where we're actually going into where the shadows are taking over and the darkness is taking over. But does that make you afraid? Or
oh no, not no, I'm good with the dark. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm fine with that. Like when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of the dark, but for me to get over that fear, at the time I didn't know I was really saying mantras. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I'm not afraid of the dark. There's nothing in the dark. The dark actually protects me. It shields me." I kept telling myself that when I was a kid, but not realizing I was really programming my subconscious mind. And like now I could sleep in the dark. It don't matter. Pitch black. I rather it dark actually. I
Dope.
fall asleep more better. I feel more comfortable actually.
Yeah, and that's kind of maturity too, because a lot of times, like some people grown as hell don't even can't even deal with the fact that it's dark outside or dark in a room or pitch black and things like that when that is very necessary for the time. Like I don't
Yeah,
even know, like that darkness
definitely.
is an energy. That darkness is a vibe that like I
Yeah, I
can't
mean that's one thing.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I say
Oh
I
no, that
can't
was one
explain
thing.
it or control it. It's just something that I'm noticing. But go ahead.
Yeah, that was one thing I did notice about that deity when she was like we were interacting, but like I could feel her power, but it
Mm,
wasn't scary. It was more of I felt the power, but I also felt love behind it too.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It wasn't like she's trying to attack me or anything like that.
yeah,
She was just directing me like, "Yeah, this is how you do it," type of
yeah.
thing. So I was like, "Oh, that's." I woke up with like I didn't wake up like, "Oh, that was a scary dream." I was like, "Damn, that was pretty dope." I was like, "I like those type of dreams," because
Indeed.
sometimes I'm like, yeah, sometimes I feel like my dreams are just too regular. I'm like, "Am I really tapping in?" But
Nah,
now
that
that
right
like not
there.
now that I'm seeing that like other people are talking about certain things, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, so that's why I'm gonna make it more of an effort to like call in and share stuff too.
Yeah, because that helps me so much because of course having these conversations, bro, I don't necessarily know that people is going to have any connection to what I'm referencing because the downloads is so fresh. Like I'm really just downloading the energy because spirit is telling me like you gonna have to. load up and then unload and then pick up some more shit. And so it's just like really clearing the cache. However, instilling this connection within this conversation of the goddess coming to you in rare form in the dream world. Like I kind of just want to just be all ears to kind of just get like a full context of the dream. Like, can you share that dream just like maybe one more time so I can kind of get it cemented in my mind of kind of just it's going to help me just with my work and with my study.
Yeah. So I feel like the setting was like it was like a big apartment. Like there was a lot of space. Like and I was trying to look out because I was trying to figure out where I was. Like this place looked unfamiliar to me. So I look out the window. It's like pitch black outside too. I'm like, I can't see anything. I can't see any buildings, nothing. So I'm just walking around. I think I go into the kitchen or something, and then I just saw the eyes, and then I was like, I could actually see her silhouette, and she was just talking to me, and then there was somebody else walking around. He wasn't a shadow. He looked like a regular human type of thing,
Mhm.
and then he was looking for something, and I just kind of followed him. I don't know if he really saw me or what the deal was. Like sometimes I feel in my dream like I'm just there observing. Like some of these people can't even see me. Like because like I don't know if I'm interacting with them or I'm just observing them. And then he was looking for something, and then he's like, I can't see it, and I can't see. I was like, it's right in front of you, and like because I could perfectly see fine in the dark. He's like, I need to get my
Mm.
flashlight. And I think you were asking like suggestion for movies like 2 weeks ago or last week. So I thought of that movie Pitch Black where Vin Diesel could see in the dark and shit. And like everybody else is
Mm.
scared of the dark because all those monsters.
Damn,
But
let
like
me
I'm
write that
interacting with
shit
you.
ASAP. That's the nighttime movie. Pitch Black.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pitch Black. Then dropped it on us. Alright, thank you. Okay. 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 Yeah,
And
yeah,
so like yeah, whatever he was looking for, I'm like I handed it to him. Then he picks up his flashlight. He's walking through the dark. Then that female shadow again says, "Oh, it's time. Whatever. We should get everyone ready to go." So I had to go to all the different rooms and pick. Like there were shadows chilling in all these different rooms, and we were all just walking in a line into a doorway. But it wasn't like a doorway that goes outside the apartment. It was in the middle of the living room,
yeah. Mm.
and we all just walked through, and then I woke up.
Mm.
So yeah,
Was
that
it
was
somewhat like a labyrinth at all? Or a maze of some
a
sort?
what?
A maze or a labyrinth of some sort? Because you said the doorway was in the middle.
Uh,
Or
not really a
was
like
it
a
open
labyrinth.
space?
Yeah, it was open space in the yeah. So it's kind of like I guess a portal type of
Mm.
thing. But it was just
Mm.
like it looked like a regular rectangle door, but it was in the middle of the living room.
And
And
Goddess
like
Nyx and the goddess or the supposed Goddess Nyx was advising you in some form or fashion, or was she advising the dude in your dream?
no, advising me, and then I worked with the dude in the dream,
Got you.
basically.
Got you. Okay. So that's kind of like you was personifying Atlas because it said that God, like Nyx and Atlas can't exist in the same place at the same time, just the same way as like it can't be night and day at the same time. It's either one or the other. So, like you having that actual conversation might have you been some form of a go between the darkness and the light. That's what it seemed like to me.
Uh, yeah, that makes sense. Because like he wasn't a shadow though. Yeah,
He was
that makes
light.
sense. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And light can't see
Um,
shadow. Like that, and that's the problem with this particular energy and why it's like so sudden and like people don't really feel the symptoms, and once they feel the symptoms they feel like it's too late is because they can't see the shadows. I think KT the Arch degree was talking about a subatomic level to where microscopic energies can only be seen with a black background and not a white background because the black background allows you to see things at a deeper level or some level. So I'm just saying like I guess within that dream you was some form of like a scientist, like able to see the light and the dark, and that relationship with the goddess is real reminiscent of the 823 energy. But you also was telling me how you was doing the rituals towards the 823 god as well. So it's a more,
Yeah.
it's just a deeper alignment that, you know, that's what I was talking about in the video as well. So like you said, you was gonna re-listen to it, but I think if you re-listen to it, and then you'll be able to probably communicate to me on a deeper level of the dream and the additional downloads associated with the goddess, because I feel like she channeled you, like she working
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
man. That's what's up. And yeah, shout out to you. Like that was a
Mhm,
powerful build yesterday too with the Beetle guys or
mhm.
Beetlejuice.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I watched that movie last night too, and then I had another dream last night. Um, I couldn't make clear what the entity was, but it was me and somebody else. We were walking around, and we were just showing off the way we absorb energy. Like he's like, "Oh, I do it this way," and I was like, "Oh, I do it." Like we were just showing our skills, like we were just practicing, and then like I could see myself absorbing like this red energy into me, like so that was pretty interesting. But that wasn't like a full dream. I kind of got like a clip of it, kind of, and so so yeah, that was pretty powerful.
My fault, man. I'm listening to you and doing two things at
Oh no,
once,
no,
but
it's all good.
I
No, it's all good.
appreciate I appreciate
No,
the
it's all good.
bill, Kevin.
Yeah, no
Lil
problem.
John want the phone. It's late, and you know things like that. But yeah, man, definitely expanding on those little like scenes and whatever the case may be. Cause we'll be having another, I think a Zoom talk with Prime, and I think this information, once you listen over to it and then come back with, you know, a deeper insight of maybe the relationship between the darkness and then your relationship with light and dark, and trying to figure out a way to communicate in both realms would kind of be so powerful now. I think that's actually needed, and that's really what the purpose of this video was I was trying to get people to actually use this goddess energy in real terms, as opposed to me just simply referencing the goddess like, oh, the goddess Nyx, the goddess Nuite, you know. But you actually
Mhm.
gave the play by play of, okay, this is how you actually use the goddess, is actually helping to locate shadows to people who is just love and light 24/7 and don't even understand the actual modality or the practicality of shadows and things of that nature. So you helped me in a great way. So
Oh
you
man.
know, thank you.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for all you do, man. Because like once I got that reading, that's what kind of motivated me to like really start doing stuff. Because like I just been listening to videos and stuff on YouTube.
Mhm.
Like I took Panic's class, Khadijah's class, but not really internalizing a lot of stuff. So
Mhm.
this last month, that's all I've been trying to really get into, like especially
Mhm.
with this stuff going on. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, what else? What else is there to do?
I mean, it's path working, you know, and this is the opportunity. It's self actualization, self realization, and self deification. You are incarnated God, and your life has shown you that, and it's now time for you to realize that within. So what we referencing now is internalization, like a motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
internalization. OD. You feel me? Like
yeah,
everything is you, you know, and being able to see both sides of the spectrum, the light and the dark, is actual right and exact. Where most people can only perceive the light, so things right in front of them, right, they can't see.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
How many people do you know that things are right positioned directly in front of them? You see it clear as day, right? You ever wondered like
Yeah.
why you see that or not, you know? It's because you have a relationship with the goddess, and the dream was indicating that or showing you that.
Wow, that's powerful. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
I mean, that's all I have to
was
say.
it like a
I
consulting
don't know.
business or something to that effect? Was there some
What,
form of
the shadow dreams?
consultation? No, like in real life. Like I'm shifting. Like you said you was going to do some things outside of like personal business, and part of that business was like consultations of some form based in the technology realm. If I, am I off?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, no, you're right. So I was looking at these like programming classes. There's some things I'm work with my sister. I'm working with something with that too, like business stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, we're still in the process of getting it going, so like it's still in the first steps, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I
yeah,
was just
it's all
giving
lining
you
up.
that psychic edge of you see what people don't see, so that allows you to become successful.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to line all that stuff up, and then keep pushing forward, keep building, keep
Build that
keep
energy up.
learning.
Build that energy up,
Yeah.
man. You know, you've been on the radar for a long, 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 long time. So it's kind of, you know, tap into that Bourne energy. Like
Oh yeah.
they ain't call you Kevin
Oh
Bourne for nothing. You know. It's
yeah. Yeah, I got those movies too. So I watched the first three already. So I'm gonna watch the last two maybe tonight or
mm-hmm.
tomorrow.
Dope,
Yeah, definitely.
dope share, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for everything you guys do, man.
No
And
problem. Tap in with me sometime tomorrow, especially after the night. After probably I get another dream. I'll
y-
bet money on that. So reach out to me tomorrow if you get some time, please.
oh yeah, yeah, no problem, man.
All
I
right.
got you.
All right. Thank you,
All
bro.
right, thanks.
Peace out.
Peace.
Yep. San Bernardino's finest.
Hey, what up,
Chilling.
man? Such a great time to be alive. That's all I know. A great
Ashe.
time to be alive.
Ashe.
Yeah, so I wanted to share with y'all my Beetlejuice story
Go ahead.
because Beetlejuice came and visited me last night.
Oh
I was
shit.
like, this is crazy.
Oh shit.
Yes. So me and my cousin, we was outside chopping it up last night because I was like, I had finished my homework and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself and I'm gonna smoke a blunt, right? I'm gonna have a little blunt and chill. It ain't really nowhere to go, so we're just chilling here at the house. And we was chopping it up about, about the Chris Brown. And I was just telling them like, whenever I go out, like to Walmart or something, like it be so much. It be so much in the air because I'm like emotionally empathetic, so I can feel like all the fear and all the F's, just all that in the air. So I just
Right.
be like super drained when I in the sun, it be here and there. But I'm just like, man. So I was just telling about that. We was chopping it up, and I was like, I want to know what's really behind giving this $1,000 up. Like, like really, what is $1,000 going to do? That's going to help, but what is that really going to do
Right.
for 2 months being out of work? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that really going to
You is
do?
not gonna
And
pay
I'm
your rent with $1,000. Like
right.
nobody for 2 months. Like that's nothing. That's just gonna make you mad.
You
Like
could put something on it, but it's not gonna save you. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? So I'm
Yeah.
just like, what they really gonna do? And I'm just like, man, I was like, these politicians and these powers that be like, they living their best life right now. I was like, they like living in a rap video right now. I'm like, they was sitting up there like, yeah, so how much should we write this check to? A billion? Like, nah. We gonna write for $1 trillion. Like, let's put $1 trillion on it. Next time we gonna say zillions. Like, all right, go ahead and throw them 1,000 so they can be cool. But we really about to, the way they cut the pie up, what they gave us was crumbs. So that ain't really nothing.
1,000.
Yeah. So I'm just like, we gotta, really make up a plan on how we're gonna invest this money and really try to stay 10 steps ahead of the game because it's always gonna be a twist. If they got us looking at this, they're gonna be doing something else, you know what I'm saying? So let's just take it slow, and see where the twist gonna come in at. So, anyways, My neighbor down the street, he had hit me up like, "Hey, I got a bottle." I'm like, "Okay, for sure, come through." Me and my cousin was chilling in the front yard. He comes through. Now he's like a black Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
He got a lot of knowledge, but I think he on dope. He was on something last night because he came through like crazy. So as soon as he walked up, he had me a mask. Now this is right after me and my cousin was just talking about, like it ain't real, like it's all in your mind, like it's a mental illness, like once you think you got it, you got it, you know what I'm saying? And we was watching a video of this hospital in New York where it's supposed to be this like mad crazy cases out there, but the hospital was empty. So we was like, yeah, like they playing games. So he walked up, he handed me a mask, he offered one to my cousin. My cousin like, nah. He gave me some gloves. I'm like, I'm taking everything because it's spring cleaning time. I'm like, yep, I need them gloves. You got alcohol wipes? Yep, I need that too. He's like, yeah, so I'm always gonna take care of my people. I'm like, that's what's up for sure. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, but you know what I really need? I'm like, I need some goggles. I'm like, because what if the virus get in my eye?
Oh
Like
my
I can't do
God.
that.
What
Like he's
about
like, for
my
sure.
ears?
I
Oh
got some
shit.
goggles. All the mucus membrane. So I'm
Bro.
like, yeah, I need the goggles. He's like, I don't got no goggles, but I got the visor. And I'm like, okay, well, do the visor got the suction around it? Because I
Oh.
need it to be like flat against my face. He's like, no. He's like, but I'm gonna try to find one. I'm like, dude, I was like, I need a flight suit too. I need one, to cover up everything. He's like, oh yeah, 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 I could get you one, $50. $50, I'll get you one. I said, yeah, but I need the turtleneck one so that it can't get inside. He's like, yeah, 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 I know. And they got the 3-piece one where you could cover up the shoes and everything. I was like, for sure, for sure. And my cousin looking at me like, you tripping. I'm like, you didn't get what I was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you can't cash your pearls to pigs. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and argue with him
Yeah.
about the ticket,
Yeah.
about the Chris Brown. Like, let him live his life.
Yeah.
Because I really think, like, since we all been talking about the 5G and us moving into the fifth dimension, it's really just a cover up because everybody can't go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whoever ain't gonna go, they could just say, well, this virus took everybody out.
And
You know what I'm saying? So
they
it's like,
just playing a cold game because say for instance if you get it they gonna isolate the shit out of you so where you can't even kick it with your family or nothing like that. So it's like how do you even know if you even got it or anything
right,
or
right. Or
they
they just telling you
they
that.
just telling you that say for instance they just tell you that then they can literally lock your ass. It ain't
Right.
funny but they can lock your ass up and give you drugs to
It's
fuck
your
you
word
up.
against theirs. And
Yeah.
and they're the ones that's making the judgment. So who gonna win?
Yeah,
You not win.
you signed up for the
Yeah.
test, so it's real crazy out here. It's like,
Yeah, I told them it's like a abusive relationship. Like what they do first, take you away from your friends and family,
yep,
tell you stay in the house.
yep,
Oh, now you ain't got nobody to say because ain't nobody messing with you
yep,
now because you then separated yourself. I was like, this is like a straight abusive relationship,
man.
and it's like the shook ones.
Mm,
It's gonna be hard for them to overcome it because as soon as you get a little scratch in your throat or you come down with a little sneeze or something, it's like, oh no, Lord, I got it.
no,
And that's just a sad way to be.
I seen a little shorty. She was at the gas station, probably getting like a bag of chips and some blunts or something, because the car smelled like straight loud. She hopped out, mask, gloves, ran to the door, opened the door. It was like, like jittering, like felt like the time being exposed to the air was going to infect her somehow. So her whole time of being outside of her car was just like a danger zone. And I'm
Right. And
like,
that's how it be when you go outside. You see it and everybody's scared. Like, I can't
yeah,
be around this for
shit
real.
crazy. Shit
But
crazy.
they don't understand if it's airborne and it gets inside your eyeballs, what are you gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And that mask.
it don't work. It don't work. That don't work. That little bitty piece of material is not gonna save you. You know what I'm
Shit
saying? Like
crazy.
that's not even like a HEPA filter or nothing on that. You can't
Oh
save
my.
yourself by a little piece of material.
That ain't
And then okay,
PPE or nothing. Like if you was
right,
dealing with hazardous chemicals and you had to take a mask, You got to get the joint that's going to wrap you around, have the suction, and then have the filter. Like,
And then you gotta change the filter.
right.
And then with them gloves, okay, you ran outside the car, you touched the door, you got back in your car, so you put it right back in your car. So stop playing. Like, come on, y'all gotta use common sense. And then so, oh boy, he just started talking crazy. He was like, yeah, I like the social distancing because I'm already like, I don't like people. And I'm like, okay, that's what's up. He's like, but people out here, you know, because I was like, I went to Home Depot and the line was like crazy. So I was like, man, I was like, this is crazy because I can't even go get what I need because it's like a 2 hour wait to get in the store. And he's like, no, I like that because what if somebody talking to you and they accidentally spit on you? I said, come on, man, how often does that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it happened to me before. I said, well, you didn't die, right? No,
Right.
I didn't die. I said, so stop thinking like that. I said, if you a black Hebrew and you know you got melanin, so
See.
what are you worried about? What are you afraid of?
See,
Oh,
and
he
that's
just
the
kept on
thing.
changing the
What
subject.
happened to the God? What happened to the God you used to pray to for all of your sustenance and things of that nature when they come through with this grimoire called the Kobe or the Chris Brown? You know, that whole God shit is thrown out the window because that God shit is a spell within itself. So it's like they trading
Right,
in
because you're
spells
looking
for other
without yourself.
spells.
Because you're looking without yourself.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything, man. You can't tell me nothing outside of myself that's going to save me. And a lot of deep motherfuckers is trying to go inside of themselves to figure it out. Okay, is it this? Is it that? No, it's you. Like, it's your
Yeah,
dreams,
it's
it's your
just, yeah,
process.
it's
But
all mental.
you was telling us about Beetlejuice. I know you moving into it, so I'm still
Dude,
with
the
you.
dude was Beetlejuice. The dude that came was Beetlejuice. That's what I'm talking about. This dude was all over the place. And my cousin, like, dang, like, I'm like, man, you really take that seriously? I'm like, that was Beetlejuice. Because you know how Beetlejuice was crazy. He was
Yeah,
erratic.
yeah. He ain't have no
I was like,
sense.
yeah, I was like, that was Beetlejuice. He came over here with a wife beater on. It's cold. I got like two jackets on. My cousin got two jackets on. He came over here with a wife beater on, talking about he cool, but you want to talk about, you want to talk about white people or whatever and all this black power, but you standing out here with no
Mm,
clothes on
mm,
in the cold.
mm,
What does that make you look like? And then
mm.
then he started talking about the tanks that he's seen,
Oh
and
man,
I'm like, okay, you seen the tanks? I said, why you didn't get one of them?
why you ain't cop
I
one?
can, yeah, go ahead and grab one of them. Oh, I ain't taking no tank. I could shoot the tank. I said, okay, you can't shoot no tank. It's bulletproof. Well,
Mm,
I'm only gonna have one. I said, okay, when you get one, you can use that one to get another one. So if you're really about that life, cop one of them tanks. Get one of them tanks. It's easier to fight a tank against a tank than a tank against a gun. You bringing a gun to a tank fight? I said, come on, man. If they come on the block, who going when they come to the first house, who gonna run outside and help the neighbors? Are
right,
we all gonna help each other? Or
right,
we all gonna sit in the house scared waiting for them to come one by one to each house.
right,
So don't talk to me about how what they got and what they doing when you ain't about fixing it, about getting together. Let's handle it. Let's make a plan. Just like a video I seen. Y'all ain't ready. Can't none of y'all fish. Can't none of y'all hike. Can't none of y'all camp. Y'all not ready. So don't tell me about how what you doing and what you growing in your garden and everything when you not ready.
right.
Not ready to help your neighbor.
100%.
So that's all I had to say about that. That's all I had to
One
say
hundred
about that.
percent, 100%, and I think tying into that Beetlejuice thing, it's just like it's like an antagonist to where it make you think about shit. Like, and what you actually did was it was funny that you just was like, fuck it. Let's dive deep into this whole situation that you call fear and see where it leads you. Cause you doing this flimsy ass shit and you doing it out of fear, but your whole shit is like if the shit was real, that shit would have been done got you because it's airborne. Like you gotta breathe air. Like,
Like,
you
Common sense. Common sense ain't common. Like, come on. I'm in Walmart. I can't walk down the aisle because another person down the aisle, everybody got attitude. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even here for all of that.
Yeah, people
Like,
rushing by you and all of that. Like they don't want to be near you and things of that nature. Like y'all really
this
think
is weird.
airborne, like airborne. Like when you breathe in air. So if
Like,
you
it's on your skin. It's on
like,
all of that.
it's
So
everywhere. So if it was, if
you
it,
smoke cigarettes, it's on your cigarette. Like, what you gonna do?
yeah. So it get to the point where even to the point of like having an immune system or even dealing with this shit from a health point system, like shit. We was taught that you want to get certain things like chicken pox, for instance. You want to get chicken pox because when you get older,
So you can build up that immunity. Exactly. But
it's
I got
gone.
chicken pox 3 times, so it's a wrap for me. It's a wrap for me.
Oh man,
It's like mind over matter at this point. I think that
1,000,
I was
and
just like, I'm thankful I ain't got to go to work because I work for the school. So it's a wrap for that.
mm-hmm.
And then they hooking up the unemployment. I'm like, for sure. And then I ain't got to take my kids to school. Like, that's a big relief, off my shoulders.
Right,
So I'm just being thankful for that,
right,
for
right,
real. I
right.
was like, I need to live my best life. But the only problem is when I go outside feeling all that, and then, my friends messaging me videos and everything like
Mm-hmm.
man, like I can't even deal with y'all right now
Mm-hmm.
because they say they understand me, but then they low key still afraid. So I'm just like, I just gotta leave everybody alone and just stay inside my own little bubble.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that. That just bring me up to something that I ain't never really shared. But I remember when this shit first kicked off, and I was driving my car, and I knew my car was about to break down and shit. Like I was like, my car about to break
I
down.
remember you said you had to put it in a shop. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just kind of was just like, fuck it about the whole situation because it was like people's stress was so strong. Like it's going to sound crazy, but the shit literally broke my car down. But it wasn't to a point where I didn't see it or feel it. I just kind of knew, like, damn. But I was like, it's a real change in this world because like when I was outside, I felt the stress of
Right. It's
everybody
scary.
around
It's
me.
scary.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like on the highway though, like you feel me? Like feeling the stress. Like so motherfuckers talk that empathic shit. Like empaths need to understand what's happening for real. Like if you claim to be an empath, then like this conversation that me and Show having is like it's like some empathic shit. Just feeling these
like it's
vibrations.
real. You got to be protective of yourself because it'll get inside of you. And
Yeah,
it got inside of me to the point where I was fearful, where I was like, y'all come do this thing, take y'all clothes off. Da, 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 da. I
yeah,
started just getting wild about it.
yeah,
And then I was like, I had to calm myself down. I felt like I was getting symptoms. And I was like, you know what, let me calm down and figure out what's really me and what's really from the outside. Because my daughters work at Amazon and I'm like, y'all can't go back to work. But I'm like, why am I tripping? Go ahead and make y'all bread.
hmm,
Like, do what y'all want to do. Y'all don't want to go, y'all don't got to go. If y'all want to go, go. I'm not going to sit here and be scared because y'all immune system is cool. So it is what it is. I mean, me and my cousin was talking, it's like, water kills it. Like, what is wrong with it? Like, water kills it. Like, if it's that
yeah.
serious
Washing your
of a
hands,
virus, come on now. You drink some water, it's a wrap. Come on. That's what you're supposed to be doing anyway.
but that don't make sense
Like,
to
Lord
me
forbid you
because
have to drink some water.
but then again, it's like then they say it's an airborne virus though, so it's just like shit. What is it? Is it is it through touch? Is it a STD?
And they ain't even worried about STDs that bad, that hard. They ain't even going that hard on STDs. They ain't went hard on nothing else as hard as they going on this. So
mm-mm.
they just like mess up my frame of thought when I start watching or seeing stuff, then I just kind of get like, like thrown off, like distracted. And I'm like, you know what, let me
Right.
just block all of this that's coming with that so that I can stay focused on what I want to do. Because now I got the time to do what I want to do. And that was my main complaint. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to do this. I ain't got
1,000.
time to do that.
1,000.
So now it's like, okay, you got time now.
Mm-hmm.
So get it done.
Yeah.
Period. Stop being distracted because there's nothing out there. There's really literally nothing out there.
Right.
Like literally. So get
And
it
we was
together, get focused
the last time
for real.
we was
And
talking about nonprofits, and now it's an opportunity to
I
kind
got
of
time for that now.
yeah. And you got the funding too, because it's unlimited funding for nonprofits and
Right,
things of that.
exactly.
So we was talking
Exactly.
about
I'm gonna
it.
get into all of those COVID, Chris Brown funding,
Ashe.
all the FEMA stuff, and then I had a experience with my car. Well, not my car because I don't got no car right now, but my sister gave me her car when she bought another one.
Mm-hmm.
So her car, her alternator is messed up. So um, whenever we drive it, when it get hot, we gotta wait a little while for it, to cool off before we, start it back up. So
Mm-hmm.
I had lifted the hood up because it's cold outside, so it could cool off fast, and then I had put the hood back down, but I let the hood prop fall on top of the battery, the battery post, the
Mm-hmm.
positive post. So I'm driving it and it's like losing power, but then it would come back, lose power. I'm like, what the heck? And then just by coincidence, I'm driving to Corona at
Mm-hmm.
that time. And I'm like, I hit my homegirl. I'm like, hey, the car is tripping. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. I'm gonna pull off the freeway. So I pull off and then I pull into a Walmart. But as soon as I pull into the driveway, the car arced, the battery had arced, it had went all the way dead. I couldn't put a hazard light on or nothing. I'm like, what the heck? And so it was this black man on the side, like by the car wash, and he was selling Kobe Bryant t-shirts and sweatshirts. So he comes over, he's trying to help me, and I'm like, I can't even get it into neutral or nothing. So this other guy come by, he's like, oh, pop the thing up and then push it down and then you can move it. So we got it moved, but we ended up chopping it up for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And just so happened, because I'm starting a gardening business, and just so happened his wife has a gardening business. So we just connected like on so many levels. And I was like, if this car would have never broke down, I would have never met that man. And I just
Mm-hmm.
bought a sweatshirt just on GP. So yeah,
Right.
that was cool.
Right.
That was
Right.
cool.
That's kind of the
So
vibes, you
yeah.
know. Everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so the God be coming through. But I was really, pissed off about the battery, but everything was cool. I thought I had really messed her car up, but everything was cool. I didn't know that happens with Hondas. That
Mm.
everybody that owned a Honda said the same. Oh, you let the hood prop down. All right, yep, that's what it was.
Oh man, beautiful share, man. Beautiful share show.
Yeah, well, I love y'all. I love the whole family.
Indeed,
It's,
you know,
I
you,
said it's
you come through with the comic relief and the positive vibrations, and hopefully you kind
man,
of
it's life. It's
use.
life. Life is funny.
Yeah, it do. It's gonna be dope having that, that water bearing water nonprofit,
Man, and
situation
then
pop off.
right after we talked, it had rained for like 2 weeks straight. And I was telling you about the wash over here by my house, how it never has water. It
Mm-hmm.
was filled up with water. It was like water up to the treetops. It was like
Ashe,
super water in there. So I
Ashe,
was like, yeah, that's what's up.
Ashe.
That's what's up.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Things working out, man. But you know where to find me at Showstopper if you need anything. I appreciate you reaching out and then supporting, all of that.
Sure, for
San
sure.
Bernardino's finest. You understand what I'm
You
saying? It's
already
really
know.
going down.
909.
It's really it's
909.
really going down. So appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. You
Uh,
stay up.
will do.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
515.
Hello.
Peace.
Hey, this is Green Heart Goddess.
What's
What's
good?
up?
Chilling, chilling.
Nothing. It's just been real late, and my third eye is like busted open. So I don't know. I felt the urge to call because a lot of the information that you were sharing, I was totally resonating with. So I've been for some time now using a galactic calendar,
Mm-hmm.
which has been used. Like a lot of my journey has been guided towards Mayan culture
Mm-hmm.
type
Good.
material and also Egyptian. But it just made me think with the galactic signature with mine. Um, I am the ninth galactic signature is number 9, and
Mm-hmm.
the name of the signature is Red Lunar Moon. And so the affirmation with that is that I polarize in order to purify, stabilizing flow. I seal the process of universal water with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of birth.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, pretty much having self-remembrance, like once you become awakened with Red Lunar Moon, it's like an automatic connection to the divine. And so when you were speaking on this, it's like, well, shoot, I kind of am already doing this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is just something, I'll just dive a little bit more deep into with, my intent and my feeling. I don't know. I
Beautiful.
just thought that was crazy that you brought that up and then start talking about it and then had referred it to Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on this long road trip the other day. Stevie Nicks came on the radio, and I'm like,
Oh shit.
why?
Oh shit.
Why is Stevie Nicks coming up on the radio? And then the guy that
Oh
was just
shit.
on, he mentioned somebody else too. It was Nicks and what was the other one? Oh, I wish I could remember.
Mm.
I can't remember right now. It'll come to me later. But
Okay. But
I'm
that
like, dang,
Stevie
like
Nicks is
it's like,
crazy. Not saying
yeah,
Rihanna and
like things that we
everything.
hear. Yeah, like even that, like everything that was being said, it was just like sync, 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 sync.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like, oh, okay, that's why I heard that. Or, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
why I heard it. Like it's
Yeah.
all tying in together. So with the Mayan astrology that I study too,
Mm-hmm.
part of my birth chart is being a Jaguar, and that's the energy of the goddess Ishel,
Mm-hmm.
Ixchel,
Mm-hmm.
which is considered the dew of the heaven, also known as the nocturnal sun. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the energy and the power where we're able to have the path that leads to the underworld and be able to come back with the knowledge and information. So kind of like our gift to the world, depending on what your signature is. But I just thought that was pretty interesting that you brought that up. Because it's like, well, like I said, like I'm already like that. I feel like I've already like tapped into that type of energy.
What's
So I was just
interesting,
really feeling that.
I don't know if you're familiar, but me, Honcho, and Shireen and create and manipulating the Matrix, and the whole format is based upon the Mayan calendar. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the whole idea with everything that I even be experiencing is like, I don't know what the hell I be writing in my journal, but it just, I do be writing and like it don't, I never like look back at my journal. Like maybe at a point in time where I'll be compelled to look back, but I'm always like journaling, you know what I'm saying, like, in the
Mm-hmm.
present.
Yeah, because
But
I used to do that. I used to do that, and I'm like, why am I writing this now? Like in these times, like when this year hit, I
mm-hmm,
find myself going back to all those books. Like I got probably like 15 books I've been writing
right.
on since I started this journey. So yeah,
But that Mayan calendar and that Mayan energy, it just hit different. Like it changed your life in a different type of way. So, and you referencing the Mayan calendar connection, the red lunar moon, and things of that nature, I just would just double down on people doing some research and like understanding the peace or the changes that it brings into your is beyond, like, it is like syncretist where it applies to every realm of mythology and spirituality, meaning that it's not going to take nothing away from your journey or path, but what it's
right,
actually going to do is transcend you past the actual ancestral American reality. Cause where's your ass at? Like, where like people adopt realities from Africa, which I'm not dissing, but your ass just ain't in Africa. So it might not resonate as deeply as would an American energy. So what the Mayan energy does, it puts you in a space and time of right and exactness. So I'm rambling, but it's just like a beautiful share
No,
to
you're
find
not.
people
It's making total sense
with that.
because while you're saying that, I'm thinking about I was going back and forth between like I got introduced to Mayan. Like growing up, we get the typical tropical
Hmm.
astrology stuff, the basic stuff about the sun sign and all that, whatever.
Hmm.
And so coming into this awakening, like I said earlier, I instantly got led to the Mayan astrology, but then I had like tuggles where I was going back and forth between that and whether or not I strongly believed in tropical still, and I still wanted to be
Hmm.
like, some of my homies that, are still not where I'm at. Like I felt like I was bringing myself backwards.
Hmm.
And so but it was like having that study of Mayan astrology, it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to let you go with your flow and allow you to be in that space to be able to see now that you know what you know, go back to that space and then see how you feel after that. And it took a while, but I just recently was like, and it was because of what you said a few days ago about tropical astrology. And even though it's tied in, like it's all tied together, but I really feel like us being here with the tropical astrology has kept us jaded from
Hmm.
knowing who we truly are.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't getting a whole lot from tropical once I had discovered Mayan. And as soon as I went back to the Mayan astrology,
Hmm.
everything was opening like floodgates.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah,
It's really simple to me. It's like
it is. It
it's
really
like
is.
don't you want to know where you live at? So if I tell you my address is 640 Euclid Avenue, and then you pull up to 620 Euclid Avenue, and you have all in the well intentions in the world, you know, but that's not my address. It's not, you're
Not
not
it,
gonna
right?
deliver my package. So when these people on YouTube they reference Western astrology, to me it's just dead ass wrong. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
like
I
I
feel
it hurts me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a thing where it's like, you know how when you hurt you get angry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
and it's
right because
not.
it's like there's so many people. It's like so many, and
Yeah,
it's like the process is gonna be like, oh my god, like to get everybody, or not even to get everybody, but
just
just
to
to
understand the right address so you can get your package
right,
delivered. You know what I'm saying? Or
right,
even
right,
know your fucking birth chart. You know what I'm saying? For real. And you just like really just not honoring your birth chart for real. For no reason. Like
yeah.
there is no reason to study tropical astrology. There is no reason to do it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I had to go through that process to find that out. Yep,
Yeah.
I sure
There.
did. And I was like, it totally could have looked like wasted time, but it was like, no, I
Mhm.
had to go through that in order to learn what is right for myself. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all good. And I'll
It's
be able to
not.
help others so they don't have to go through the lengthy delay of the process, and
Yes.
finding that pertinent information.
Yeah, and waiting for your package forever, like
Right.
like studying astrology. Talking about astrology, but just getting it wrong all the time. It's just like I don't understand that, but that's the world that we live in, and like I say, hurt mixed with anger, mixed with like, seeing somebody like hit their head up against the wall. Like if you literally saw somebody banging their head up against the wall, like you would be mad, like, why is they doing that? Like, stop,
Yeah.
But it's like, but everybody around me is banging their head up against the wall and saying that it's right and exact. Like, imagine the world that a person got to live in to kind of just like accept that and, just like be like, well, it ain't no thing. Like, okay, it ain't.
Right.
Like, but people still
Like
around me
one
is,
day at a time.
yeah. But yeah, such a
Goodness.
beautiful share. I love
Thank
the
you.
actual people who actually deal with the night. So actually, lunar Mayan calendar deals with the night, right? They don't deal with the
Right.
day, and actually, it's time to like really create a new calendar. And that's kind of what we did with manipulating the matrix and actually
Okay.
being able to develop a new calendar and live that new calendar through the night too. Like that's the whole purpose of the book, is to like do dream journaling at night and then, deal with the dreams. Well, dream journaling in the day and then trying to program your dreams, do the lucid dream
At night.
traveling at night. And
Yeah.
so it's really interesting as
And
I'm talking
I've
to
actually
you.
been practicing that. When you mentioned that, like
Hmm.
months and months ago,
Right.
I was right on that path. I'm like, cool, like, and that just motivated me to continue to do it each and every night. And now it's like almost, it's like second nature to just get up. Like, it's a total life changer.
It
This thing,
is.
like,
It is.
I never would have thought I'd be where I'm at today, like 2 years ago. You never would have told me I'd be doing the stuff that I'm doing today, and I would have laughed in your face if you would have. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's amazing.
That spirituality, though, it really changes you and has you to a point where it's literal people that I know for a fact can't even handle the fact for me to say, like, yeah, I wrote 3 books. Like, that shit will fuck their whole brain up. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm the worst. You know what I'm saying? There's points and times in my life where people just like, you probably like the worst person ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me to come around and just be like, yeah, I'm writing 3 books and things of that nature, they'd think like, what in the fuck,
Nobody takes you serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a spiritual awakening that we seen beforehand. So I just talking to you is like, because you was like, I can't wait till 12, and you was breaking all this energy down. It do feel like I'm dealing with like an incarnation of the goddess Nyx, because it's hard for me to kind of like talk to you. There's like mad lights around me, but when I talk to you, I gotta like close my eyes, like I gotta meet you in darkness
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. But you really
Mm-hmm.
tying in all of this energy, so I thank you for that.
Yeah, and then one other thing I had got brought to my attention was that with the galactic calendar, it was known that Sirius was the galactic time marker in order to make that calendar.
Mm. And how did you find that galactic time marker? Like, what's the indication of that?
Um, let's see. So I have the information here. It's 13 Moon
Right.
is the website, or lawoftime.org.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's under the 13 Moon calendar, frequently asked questions, and it speaks on, for many ancient peoples, including the Dogon and the Egyptians of Africa, the great star of Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, was the galactic marker.
Okay.
It says the heliacal rising of Sirius, July 26th, because that's when the calendar starts,
Okay.
commenced the Egyptian year.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's right and exact, because that's how we got our book really set up. Like, we charted out until like July 25th, 26th, where it's like the day at a time, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess the light from the moon comes from Sirius, which is the greatest light in the sky, which the moon plays a satellite for the energy of Sirius, and which makes the moon more powerful than the sun. However, people think that the sun is the power, where the sun is the false
Right.
illusionary god, Yaldabaoth, so forth and
And people
so
are
on.
scared of the moon, too.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are afraid of the
Like, I've been
darkness.
hearing these stories, like, you're not supposed to go outside on full moon, don't stare at the
Hmm.
moon. And
Yeah,
it's just been all false. It's been false.
they call it lunacy or a lunatic and things of that nature, but understanding that we are melanin beings and that chaos is our birthright, we tend to need to really figure out how to live within chaos as opposed to trying to shut that part of us off. And if we could activate
Exactly.
that part, we could really, that's part of the
Magic happens.
sentience. Yeah. And that's,
Right.
and it's really like a lot of energy is waiting for you to kind of be controlled, like your followers or whatever you call it, or your worker bees. you know and
Okay.
yeah, that's where it's tied
Yeah, it's
into.
been interesting. The more stuff that comes out, and I don't know, it's so fun. Like,
Hmm.
the more information, the better. I don't know. And then the days just be filled up with just, I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah, life is fun. Like days go really, really fast, and it's just fun and free. So I'm interested in what
Right.
happens tomorrow, that type of thing. And I've really just put this video out as like a call to the gods, to really, tap into awaken their highs, awaken their
And it's very powerful
sentience.
too.
Yeah, um,
Yeah.
because it's necessary, because it's like at this point, if nobody's telling you to wake up and take control, how
How would you know?
yeah, everybody's telling you to be afraid and go in your house and not touch people and things like that. So it's really crazy. Which I don't be on that shit anyways, but
No, I went to the store today and they got the glass plates up, and I told my kids when I got home, I said, I'm just going to cough out loud for no reason the next time I go to the store, so
man,
we can see what happens, because I just think it's silly. And then the little circles that they make you stand on, like
wow,
I'm going to start dancing on them if I got to
wow,
stand on one. I just think it's ridiculous, but
it's really, really
that's
crazy.
part of being the eye in the storm. I don't,
Yes,
energy goes where what's that saying?
yeah. But within the daytime, there will be
Energy flows.
shadows. Energy
Right.
flows where, we'll say that again. I want to.
Energy goes where focus flows. Or no,
Oh,
energy flows where focus goes.
okay. So that's more or less of concentration and flow is another way for saying wu wei, which is the 8th level of Taoism. Wu wei is in action, but in action is also concentration. Another way of saying it is when you're doing something that you absolutely love. Do I gotta tell you to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like you just, it don't feel like an action, but that's flow and that's
Yeah, that was pretty
concentration.
deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the same thing as what you're referencing. And I just always try to find these connections and these syncretistic moments where, this is the world that we're living in, where science is trying to figure this shit out, but science can't figure out, you deciding to call in and have these conversations and build and combine this information. So, in the future, I always would advise you to be spontaneous and go left sometimes and switch it up, because that's your perceptive, subjective power, and that's power to be in the moment and take control of the moment, which effectively what these people is trying to do, but they can never do. So even within this
Right.
position of a quarantine, whatever situation, they imagine us to kind of just be isolated, not talking and building and having spiritual conversations, but you know,
Yeah, no.
it's still
All that
happening.
information gets brought to me. I
It's
don't choose to live my life in that type of environment. Like I travel and I do things and I like to have fun. So it is what it is.
yeah,
And I
beautiful.
just, along with doing that, I also try to share that amongst others. So, to help them be free as well.
And that's what I was gonna say. Beautiful share in that green heart goddess, which resides like the Osir and Osiris, which is the green god or the green man. So, really having that
Awesome.
connection to that divine masculine and divine feminine energy, just by name or nickname, even. Just always, like I said, I could sit here all day. It seems as though, and find connections and tie-ins to this particular energy, and you actually documenting this stuff. Like you said, 15 notebooks. So you actually have been manipulating your matrix, because that's concentration and flow, and that's not action either, right? That's like a stream of consciousness for which
A
you have
concentration. Okay.
access to, based upon your concentration and flow, the points and times where you was writing things and journaling things for which you didn't necessarily know what for, but surprise, like it was for now.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that confirmation. 'Cause
Yeah, It was
I
for
sure was.
real.
Like, just like you said, like, you just be writing, and
Hmm.
it's like, why am I writing all this? But now it's all starting to come into fruition and understanding, I should say.
Yeah, the
And I love it.
understanding,
Like, I
the
don't know, I'm loving life.
ideas. Yeah, it's a beautiful time. It's like the ideas and then the actual energy to bring the ideas to life, because the world is different and the field is equal. So it's yours to fuck up, or it's yours to make beautiful. It's just really a point in time where people are making real choices and real changes taking place. So, as this, like Kevin was saying before you, or a couple calls before you, like just being that intermediary between darkness and light, because the light beings, they can't see darkness, they can't see shadows, but you are you embody that energy and personify that energy and able to help people in this quote unquote, I guess you would call it light, but showing people their shadows. That's what's necessary right now.
Well, I
So
think that too, and like, I feel like the way I transmute things, like, it's just been so automatic for me. And then to
mhm,
be able to, like, once I come into awareness of it and then strengthen it even more,
mhm.
like, it just, I don't know, man. It's just like people just, I don't know.
That's
It's
alchemy. That's
unexplainable.
alchemy, and that's
Yeah,
scorpionic, chthonic too is the word. Like underworld deities that have been hidden, and what a person would connotate them to be like dark or dreary or ugly or negative. No, it's just like when it's dark, it's dark. When it's daytime, it's
right,
daytime. But the dark just has its place and its energies. And so this actual dark energy is now taking control. One has to be able to see the treasures of darkness, like Isaiah says,
right.
and within those treasures of darkness is the transmutation of particular darkness or the alchemy of it. And that's where you at, the
It's a beautiful
alchemy and
thing.
the work that you've been doing. It provides that transmutation to happen subjectively, perceptively within the moment, and it's not based upon will. It's just you just never know. It could be an intuition to call in and have a conversation with your boy.
Right.
And it just shows up, you know. But it's not really
Yep,
to be
exactly.
planned, but really experience. So, it's just
Exactly.
it's always been an honor, and I've always been grateful for your conversation and your just your awareness. So, I just give thanks.
I appreciate that. I feel the same. I love
Hmm.
the tribe. I love, all the stuff that's been talked about, and I mean, just, I don't know. I be getting my feelings. I don't want to
Yeah,
sound corny, but
no doubt, no doubt. I
it's this.
feel you.
This is a great thing that's happening. Truly great. I'm just grateful to be a part of it. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
No doubt. I drop 100 cliches a day, and I mean every single one of them. You feel me? So it's a beautiful thing, and just like I said, don't make yourself a stranger. I would love to get your perspective on this Vedic or this, I don't know what to call it, but real astrology as opposed to outside the tropical, because it's rare. You can have people that's real close to you and they'll just drop some tropical shit on you, like it's like they about to hip you to some shit, and that shit be
Right.
irking me. That shit irks me. But I like to talk to people who might can teach me some things, and I really pick that up from you. So I'm always in the
Okay.
quest for learning. So I definitely
All
want to
comes from
tie
hard work.
into that Mayan energy as well.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I'm always around. I'm always down. That's all good. All in due time. So
Indeed,
we'll
indeed,
just
great
go with
heart.
that flow and make it happen.
Have you ever sent me an email before? 'Cause I don't even think I got your email
I
address.
have not,
Okay.
because I am super ancient and I don't, like, really do techie stuff and emails and all that,
Oh wow.
And so, no, I have not.
How do
But
you?
I'm able to. I just
So
have
you
email.
you only communicate through like the astral realm? I take it. Okay. Okay.
I,
Okay.
that's a, you know what?
Okay.
Yep, pretty
Okay.
much. It's been pretty trippy.
Okay.
It's been great. I ain't even
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't do text. Yeah, you can give me a phone call. I'm just old school with it.
Indeed.
But yeah, yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. So.
But yeah, I do email. I guess I'm not too into like how all that works.
I was slow to
But
it too. I was slow to it too. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like one of those things where it's less informal than a phone number, but it can get the job done if you really want to get in contact with somebody. So, I don't know. I guess
okay.
it is.
Everybody's got a different learning style.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
yeah, cause I come across information like all day, every day. So, something hits me and I get that urge. I'll look you up. Shoot you an
okay,
email about it.
or however you communicate. I don't want to like pull you outside of your bag and things of that nature. It's just
Oh, I
that.
wouldn't allow you to do that. I'm willing to step outside of that box. So
Okay,
it's
cool,
all good.
cool. So,
But yeah,
beautiful share.
yeah, thank you.
And
This
I
is
would
awesome.
just, encourage more of these because the whole information, the information share and the energy share is like beautiful. Uh, I guess it's always something that I always want to do. So it's just like
Mhm.
bringing that to realization,
And it's
having this
appreciated. It's very
conversation.
well respected.
Yeah, so you know,
Yes. Thank you for opening the platform.
indeed, and so hopefully in the future we can continue this build and expand upon this Mayan calendar. Probably give us something that I've been wanting to do is get like a more effective, realistic point of view of the days and times of the Mayan calendar. You got a strong
Yeah.
grasp of that, or you into that?
I've actually been working with it because the days in the calendar don't necessarily apply to a majority of the energies here.
Right.
So yeah, I've been trying to correlate probably for the last, I'd say 3 or 4 months.
Okay. All right.
I've
Well,
been working on it.
whenever if you just like have that information, you like, damn, I want to talk to somebody right now, but I don't know who. Guess who? Guess who you can talk to?
Okay. Yeah, it started with the chakra days. Like I got the chakra days and stuff down, as far as that's concerned, and how that would apply to the Western days in relation to the galactic calendar. That's what I started with. That's kind of where I've been coming off of, and then getting into the moon energies and the waning and waxing and all that. So.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, you really capped off
Taking
this
it
night.
inside.
You definitely capped off this night. Really helped me personify this goddess Nyx energy, and then moving forward, tapping in. You really affirmed my Vedic and sidereal beliefs as well. So I appreciate you coming on this share and lighting this flame and giving me something to think about as I go to sleep. And I'll really be looking forward to share with you in the future.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, same here. Glad to help out.
Indeed. I'm about to put this baby to sleep because he really doing the most. He's doing the most. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Peace out.
Thank you.
Yeah. So family, we are going to end it for the night, and I really do appreciate everybody for calling in. Like everybody for calling in, everybody for sharing. Really felt all of that and needed all of that. Everything I felt like corresponded to the message from beginning to end, and that don't always happen, but when it do happen, I'm just being grateful for the actual title of these shows, which is Tapped In. So with that being said, mute your speakers. We are about to go in.